Hello everybody, welcome back. Today we are back in the graveyard at Old Pinnacove. I apologize for missing out on our Wednesday video, but life, circumstances, all that good stuff. And we are back, and my son is okay, pretty darn sore. The car is not okay. It's one of those things. So I came in here to just sort of change up these doors, where you put the ashes type thing, and I realized the tree was poking through, and it actually looks pretty darn good, and I'm going to leave it like that because I really, really like that. So there's that. I haven't worked on the catacombs down there, but again, it will come. That will be the next video. But today I think I'm going to focus on just building some graves out there and playing with these in here, because we've got lots of fun things. As you can see, I was playing with the wilted ivy and stuff. So if we go in here, we've got a few things. We've got cauldrons, we got pumpkins, we got ornaments. We also have, you see, we've got these. I don't know which one's the smallest one. 22, 22, 18. Let's see how big you are. Okay, you're quite small. So we could probably pop you there, light your candle, and what I was thinking of doing is moving this out a little bit and putting him behind there, just because I can, Halloween and stuff, and have him sort of peeking out of the doorway. Yeah. I will move the doorway out. Just imagine. There we go. Sort of like high, but we are going to have to color the back there, and I'm thinking let's go with like literally pitch black, maybe a rough plaster or a sand-based plaster. That one's the darkest. Let's go with that and see what that looks like. Yes, does that look, oops, less reflective? Oh no, more reflective. Ew. Okay, we'll do that for now. And then I have a couple of other things. What I did is, as we all know, our pictures, our custom pictures, have been giving us so much joy since the last update. So what I did is I went into my own custom pictures and they brought them all back. Oh dear heavens. No. I think I'm going to cry, slightly hysterically. Okay, so we won't be doing any skulls or anything like that today. I have got a few images of PNG images of skulls that I wanted to pop in the catacombs down below us, and a couple of images. You see, I took all this out. Why is it back? I had like 8 images left that I was going to use for this whole thing. Okay, let's not go there. Let's go to our groceries. Now we have our little Halloween treats here. We've got that, which when turned over actually makes a really nice little coffin. Okay, it's a bit narrow, but that's fine, but we can also build our own. And then we've got obviously the little jars of sweeties and the plates. So we've got those things. We also have the pumpkins, and we've got lots of candles. So I think what I want to do in the crypt here is to get the candles. I think we need some. Let's go with copper. Let's do maybe a red beach on there and then copper on here. That's better. So we can put some candles up here. Suppose I should actually go over there and line it up. But it's the sort of thing that you would be like, okay, if I pull this lever here, what will happen? Do you think it will open up a whole new dimension? But we might have to do that downstairs instead. So yes, these doors we can pull out so they look more door-like. And I will put the black around it. Whoopsie. And I've made each one of them different. I've used a different finish on them. Some are wood, some are stone, some are weird stuff, some aren't so much. We've got that one little one there. We have a few little stubby candles that we can also use. We've got this one which is nice and already, and you see these will actually sit here quite nicely on this little ledge, which is cool. Maybe two. But I've just got to be careful not to put, oh, you're not going there, are you? Sausage. Oh, leave you across there then. Too many candles means pixelation elsewhere in the build, so we'll just do that for now. Now we do have also the pictures of the cats and pictures, frames. So we've got a couple of cats here. We've got a shelf. And I've got a clock on the wall here. You can't really see it. It is a PNG image, but it actually shows 5 to midnight, which is actually quite cool. So I was thinking, I've put a park here. So I was thinking of putting a fountain in the middle, and then, I don't know, sort of like a clock type thing with the time on it. I've also put up lights all the way around, and they go from orange to red. So it's red on that side and it's orange on this side, so it sort of gives it more of a gloom and doom over there, which I quite enjoy. So today I'm going to start with a tree, because you know me, trees. It is what it is. So I think I'd like a regular tree in this place, because, you know, we want to be cheerful for people who come and visit. Maybe some cherry blossoms. I don't play with the flowering trees very much. What is a cherry plum tree? Because, you know, maybe I've still got to do the gates, so we'll just throw them there for now, because that looks cheerful. And I want to do a larger tree on the corner over here. Probably one of these. Why I like them is they're skinny and they fit into narrow spaces. And the leaves sort of hang down. That will work. And let's see if I can get one more behind it. Yes, I can. that we have. There we go. And we can start with our first grave sort of under the tree there. Now, I have got a few images here, and I googled the size of a gravestone in South Africa in meters, and I'm not going to quite be able to get it right, but we're going to try. So I think we're going for black granite as the first one, and my image says 1.9 wide and 2 meters long. So that is the average size for a grave in South Africa. So it will do. Now, if we wanted to, we could start with some interesting headstones. I think I'm going to move the headstone slightly one back and keep this one simple, because, you know, simple is sometimes good. And we can start playing with our very few circular shapes. So simple as that. I think as a start, not bad. And then let's see our little letters that we have. Will they fit? Can we make them maybe silver? Or a little big? Because they're in the shade, they don't actually reflect much, do they? But that's okay. And as I say, this one is going to be the regular one, you know, the one that you would walk into any of your village graveyards and see. And then we'll get creepy as we move along. So I think something like that would be good. And we can probably do it in a stone. Something a little fancier. And throw some flowers in it. So we can probably do, that's probably going to be the smallest one. We'll leave the black stuff till later, so let's go with the pink. Nice bright pink. Come on. Are you going to sit in there? Are you fighting with the tree? There we go. So simple, regular, to be expected, awesome. And then we can move on to a slightly more complex shape. I've got a couple of shapes here, and I'm going to try and build them. Don't hold me to it, but I'll do my very, very best. So I'm thinking a little showier. That's the same sort of basic, but How much space do we want to leave in between these? You know what? I think I'm going to make it a little longer. There we go. It's actually not a bad color either. Let's just fill this gap in here. Okay, so we've got that. Now, if we use our friendly little block, actually I'm thinking, if we go to resizable, I want to see this, the shape on the side of it. Okay, let's try and build something up here. So if we go back like that, this one is going to be taller. I'm wondering, do I do a cross? No. Give me grief. Okay, I want to make that wider. I know it's ridiculous, but there is a plan for this because I was thinking of using, we use this. Okay. It sort of gives it some shape in the middle here, and it probably won't, yes, it will flip. Oh, come on. The tree's getting in the way. There you go. All right, so if we change that to, we can do stone, we can do granite, and we can do terrazzo, but I would like to do that in metal. Clearly it's not going to work. Okay, let's do that. And can we do, yes, we can do this in metal. Copper, gold. I don't really see it that well. Seriously, can I please copy you? Not bad as a start. We could probably put maybe a little candle. Let's throw this down here for now and see if it will reflect on the. It reflects on the bottom. It doesn't get up very high, does it? But it gives that cross actually a nice shape. And then if we go back to these things, that one. that. All right, let's just copy these. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Copy and paste it onto that. Does that make sense? I'm wanting that sort of, that shape there. Okay. Let's get a, ooh, laggy. I'm just throwing you down here because you're irritating me now. Get them out of the way so I don't change the fence by accident. Which way am I wanting this? Yes. My imagination or my controls very wonky today. Or is it just me that's very wonky today? I'm not sure. Wait. Okay. Flashlight on. That off. Hey, listen, from a distance, check that out. I've got the gold on it. That looks pretty cool. But it fades away into just a random shape. So if I had to put a light behind it, we haven't really got really good lights, do we? Okay, so let's just use this as a, for instance, I'll throw that behind here, light it up. Makes an interesting shape with the light behind it. I'll take it. And then what I was thinking for the top, we can actually put an edging on it. It's probably going to need to be the little block, because I don't think anything else will work very well. I was also thinking of this, which is a smaller one, this one. Is it too big to fit in the middle? Yes, it is. Okay. We can probably use it sort of here. And then fill that in. With our little block. Do you think we can fit 3 in here? Maybe. Just. Okay, I'll take that. Dang it. Every time you lift it up, it flips. You see that? We can just pull this gap in here to build it up so it actually works for there. Okay, that's really weird. Look how it stretches. Especially there. That is a totally different color to that. Have I got the right color here? What am I doing? Oh, no wonder. I was using the wrong gray color. Oopsie, that'll teach me. It's like that's weird. Still stretches, still looks a little wonky, but it looks better than it did. So it's the right base color at least. So that's another idea. Okay, and then number 3 obviously is always the interesting one, because you know, why wouldn't it be? So let's find us you see, we don't really have much in the way of stone, but you know, if we went for this, can you see we can now color the old iron, which I quite enjoy. So if I went for like a blood red, let's see what that's going to look like. That I do indeed. But now what we need to do, take the middle out, and then we need to make a hole. Okay. And then we need to use our little friend, the little block again. deep should we make that about that? That'll work. Okay, and obviously we don't want it to just so do we want it to be fallen slightly? Do we want it to be at an angle? I want light to come down from inside it. So perhaps like that. I can live with that. All right, now where is our little sweetie? Sweetie. There it is. Let's just go black for now. I'm okay with black alligator leather. The reason I want this is I want the shape of it so we can actually build us a little tombstone. Then again, yeah, that's a little small. So we're going to need something a little bit bigger than that. But I'm going to use this as a sort of semi-template type thing. I think I'm going to go back to probably stone. I'm thinking what I'd really like to use is something like the purple marble. It's a little, maybe that. Then you've got the marble reflection. I'm going to build a base for it, obviously. So there we go. You see it's got a different texture to the steel. Now, the middle, I'm guessing is going to start there. Then we need our little friends, the building block again, but the other. Which way do I want this to? We want it to come out. And that way. See if it's right enough. I think it will be. We just need to make it bigger. Awesome. And then we're going to keep this. Probably one more. It's sort of like in the right space, shape, form, other. Come on. Fine, I'm not even going to argue with you. Okay. Can you please, can you, thank you. It's a fairly large coffin-shaped stone. I like it. Okay. I'm glad there's a cover here so I don't fall through. And then I think we are going to use this. What color do we want? Do we want a silver? Let's do that. Yes, that picks up the light quite nicely. I like that. Okay. Check that it's all lined up. And then we can put some handles on it. I'm not quite sure handle-wise what we have for this kind of thing, but we can find something, I'm sure. I like if you look with the light, you can actually see some of the texture of the marble, which is quite cool. A little off there. Okay. I like that. We move that down and resize that. That should work better. Okay, and then this is wool, so we can probably put something on it. I'm not thinking of anything in particular. Are we just gonna, should we do a wolf's head? That could be quite fun. Should we do it in silver? Ooh, I like that. Okay. Yes, I'll take that. And then we were thinking of handles. Nothing really there. Living aids, we've got that. Which is okay. You won't sit at an angle, of course you won't, because why would you? And it is quite clunky. How big is that? It would work. We'd have to turn it. Do we need handles on a headstone? I don't think so. Okay, scrap that idea. Scrap that for now, but we're not going to get rid of it. We're going to go and just pop it over here for now. And in here, I didn't do the underside, which is unfortunate. See, we've got the stairs over there, so what I was thinking of doing is putting some stairs in. Maybe these ones we can do stone. We do the same as don't know how deep they should go yet, and there's no ways anybody's going to get through there, but I'm happy with that. I'm just going to take these down a notch where they don't stick through here. That'll work. We've got another access point for our catacombs, which would be just there. And then we need some lights in here. Now, once again, too many lights, we are going to have a problem. But you know, Gotta have the spooky lighting. Don't know how much of it is going to actually come through. But we'll have the glow on the underside. Ooh. I like it. I like it. Let's do a nighttime thing. Okay, that'll work for me. You can actually see the stairs going down. I'm going to have to put a lip on there to cover that. But it definitely, look at the glow on the wolf's head. That sort of red glow. That is cool. All right, shall we change this light as well? We probably are going to need to, how dark is, ooh, I like that. Sort of trying to alternate the oranges and the reds. Either RIP glows sort of in the available light now. That shines. And then that one just picks up the red from the shifted top of the grave. So that's awesome. Okay, and then as I say, these lights are yellow. And then as they go this side, they change to red, which gives it a slightly spookier vibe, which is cool. Okay, I'm going to take that as a win. And then I think we're going to do one more. And then we're going to call it for today. And then I'll try and get to the catacombs on the weekend and have it up for you for Monday. So let's go way back and do something a little bit more, I don't know, stayed. Where is, that's 1 meter, so there. Okay, so that's grey marble. It actually looks really nice. And if we wanted to do a more traditional stone, we could take that, change it up a little. I don't know if I want it as tall as that. We're going back to the regular ones. I think let's keep it a little bit shorter. And then we can just use heavy thinking in progress. Do we want something like that? Right, let's start coloring it so it looks like one item, and then it's easier to visualize. That is going to fill up that whole section there, which is not a bad thing. It's a totally different shape again. Okay, I think we can do that. And then with this one, I think I'm just going to use our little block friend and just put a narrow border around it. I get that in the right place. No, I didn't. The fact that these blocks go everywhere and anywhere now is great. The only problem is they go everywhere and anywhere, and they overlap wherever you want them to overlap. Okay, that works for me. And then we can always put a picture or something like that on there. I'm not going there now though. I don't know if I like the way that, Let's just leave it like that for now. It's not bad. It's not perfect. I shall explore further options. It actually sits on there. We could put two little... Hold on. I need gray marble. Okay, now the next question would be, can I put little vases on you? No. It's unfortunate, terribly unfortunate. Fixed it. How about a rose? Works. Sort of like that. I'll fix it a bit. Obviously, my favorite is this for now. But I'll play with some different textures and stuff like that. In fact, on here, what I was thinking of is we've got a pea gravel. Where is it? There we go. That actually looks fairly real. I'm not going to argue about that. So, ideas? Thoughts? Let me know. I'm going to probably put one of, their pictures because, how big is this? That's not going to fit. All right, I'm going to have to put one of their pictures on something like this. Maybe this dude, like that, sort of vaguely. And then we need to have a couple of empty plots. Probably one that's got like a mound of soil next to it. A couple of shovels, a wheelbarrow, and obviously some spider webs and maybe some ghosts and some pumpkin and all the rest of the good stuff. So guys, I'm going to leave it here. Thank you so much for watching. If you've got this far, please subscribe. I hope you have a lovely weekend and I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.